guess recorder. It might make you say, do you accept?
Oh, got it. It says.
Okay. All right. All right. So welcome everybody. I'm super excited. We have not been together for a while, but I'd like to introduce you to Leann. Leann is a near-death experiencer, and I've invited her you guys into our virtual living room to come around the campfire and listen to Leann's story. I'm super excited. I haven't heard the story yet. As you know, I wait to hear it live with you guys. Just as you're listening to it, I'm hearing it for the first time. So Leann, thank you so much for
You're so welcome. Thank you for having me.
I really appreciate you like taking time out of your day and your and everything to come here. And I do really love your galvanized ceilings. I really love that actually. It's a great call in the kitchen. Leann, what state are you in?
I'm in Ohio.
Oh, you're not that far from me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, no, what part of Ohio?
Van Wert.
Okay, where's that by?
Fort Wayne, Indiana.
Oh yeah, you're not that far.
And Columbus is like 2 hours, two to 3 hours away.
So Dayton kind of area, not Cincinnati, but more Dayton and then over, right? Or over.
Yeah, we're not a huge town, but yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, you're not that far away. I would say you're probably about 4 or 5 hours away.
There you go.
Yeah, absolutely.
We can meet up.
We can meet up. I've got plans for traveling, that's for sure. I mean, unfortunately, yeah. Anyway, so I just really thank you. I feel like we could talk about anything for hours. So I know that people will be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe she hasn't started yet. Anyway, Leann, why don't you start taking us through what was happening prior to your NDE? What do you and everybody always knows I almost say this every single time. This is a conversation. So I am going to probably ask you questions or get some clarification or be wowed and go, oh my goodness, I didn't realize that. But what I wanted to say is that, at any point you need to stop or, feel like you need to take a break, let's take a break. I don't know why I'm saying that other than, other than maybe I'm filling up air. I don't know. So anyway, Leann, go ahead. I'm going to shut up. You start from the way beginning when you were born. Go.
Oh my God, I love it. Sorry. Oh, shoot. So I was 4 years old and my brothers and I were playing outside and I was swinging. I love to swing, like all kids do, love to swing real high and everything and compete. And my littlest brother was 2 years old. And then my other brother was, I believe, 5 years old at the time.
And you were 4?
Yes, I was 4 years old.
A 5-year-old, a 4-year-old, and a 2-year-old?
Yes. It was like bam, bam, bam. Yeah.
Bam,
yes, exactly.
Bam, exactly.
Yeah, she did. Yeah. So it was getting a little chilly out and my mom was, so just to start out with, to let everybody know, the swing set was in front of a fence.
Okay.
Like a chain link fence. And so when my mom told me to come in, she wanted me to put a jacket on and put a hood on. And I put my hood up and she wanted to tie it in a bow. And I was like, Mom, I don't want it. And she's like, yes, Leann, you have to have it on. I was like, no. She's like, Leann, it's getting windy. I want you to wear it. So I had to listen to my mom and she put it on, she tied it in a bow. And then she said I could go on my merry way going outside. So I went outside and I got back on the swing set and I was going up and down like
I'm just gonna tell you, Leann, like as a mom, I'm totally freaking out right now. My like body is like, oh my gosh. Yes. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I don't even know what
and I'm feeling free, like a bird because you're just flying up and down and everything. And I just love the breeze coming from, in my face and stuff. And I just loved it. And then once I went to go up, I felt something jerk, but I didn't know what it was. So all of a sudden, I couldn't feel my whole body. And I was like, what's going on? All of a sudden, I felt a tug. And here, my hood, which I did not know, got stuck onto a fence post.
Oh.
So when I went to go down, my hood flew off of my head onto that post, jerked me off of the swing, and I was just hanging there. So I'm sitting here trying to do this, and I can seriously see it as right now as I'm talking to you.
Wow.
I can see every single thing that has happened. And all of a sudden I went to look this way, and my little brother that was 2 years old came out, and I told him to go get mom, but I couldn't talk. It literally strangled me so much that I'm just sitting here trying to still do this while I'm like pointing at him to go get mom. I blacked out completely. So then I had felt like a breath in me, and it gives me chills.
Oh,
And I woke up, and I seen myself looking around, and I seen that I was laying on the table. My mom did not know CPR whatsoever. My dad was at work.
oh, you were at the
And
table
then
in your house. You
in the house.
so you were you a so okay, hang on. I've got a million questions. Your poor mom. I just wish
Yeah, yeah,
your poor mom.
yeah.
So I'm like, oh, I'm just so are you watching your body move from the fence into the house, or you're just
I
totally out and you wake up above your body, or you're in your body?
Not yet.
You're not above your body yet. You're
Mm-mm.
in your body.
Yeah,
Okay.
still.
Okay.
Yes. And it was like completely dark. I had no clue what happened. I woke up, and I opened up my eyes, and I seen my mom, and then I blacked out completely again. And then I woke up to our porch being on a gurney and looked up, and I seen a cop, and I seen an ambulance person.
Mm-hmm.
After that, I don't remember anything. Like, or not remember, I wasn't awake for any of it.
Okay.
My mom still has my clothes till this day.
Your poor mom. I just want to give her like the biggest
I
hug
know.
ever in the whole entire world. She
Yeah.
probably like lost, oh my gosh. Oh my, the
Yeah.
stress.
So my mom said that they had to literally, like, my mom had to call my grandpa, and she had called my dad, and they met her and all this stuff. And so
That
they
this she's
had,
making these phone calls after you have left in a gurney.
yes,
So
trying to,
you're gone in an ambulance,
yeah,
and you're gone in an ambulance, and then your mom is at home.
trying to get people to, like, hey, I don't know if she had a vehicle at the time.
Oh,
I don't
okay.
remember, because my dad was at work.
Mm-hmm.
He was a state worker. So my mom told me that they literally had to cut off all of my clothes real fast. My whole entire lips and body was completely blue.
Mm,
And I had no life in me whatsoever, but I don't feel that. All
right.
of a sudden, this is where it comes in. I don't see my body laying down, but I felt something like this, like holding me, and come to find out they were using the paddles on me.
Ah,
Yes. And so I kept feeling this, but I didn't feel scared. I felt okay, but I couldn't understand why couldn't I just walk, you know? I couldn't see my body, but I seen those great big humongous bright light that you'd ever want to see, and it was like clouds, like a tunnel of clouds. I mean, so many clouds, I've never seen them in my life. And I'm just like, whoa, this is so beautiful.
mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden, a person appeared down a ways, and they
In this tunnel that you're seeing,
yes,
you could see
in
like
the tunnel.
so was it a silhouette, or could you make out any features, or did they get closer to you?
You could not see no clothes on this person. You
Mm-hmm.
couldn't see the hair, the face, no nothing. It'd be like a shadow that we see off of a wall.
Okay.
But it was a real tall person
Mm-hmm.
and skinny. So I didn't feel scared with that person, whoever it was, but they just kept motioning like this. Like, it was almost like in the chills right now. It's almost like I'm supposed to go to them, but
Oh,
I couldn't go. So because they were on the other side trying to revive me back.
oh.
Yeah. So then after that, I I just remember all that, and I seen that person just kept doing it, and I'm just like trying to go, and trying to go, and then all of a sudden I wake up, and I was like, and then I was fine. The doctor said to my parents that if I wouldn't have got there within that minute, I would have been completely gone. They would have not ever been able to revive me. I should have had a lot of brain damage because of losing so much oxygen. My mom said I was literally out for, I believe, 8 minutes, 8, 9 minutes. So then they called me God's child at the hospital because they said I should have something. And I didn't. I was driving the nurses nuts that night. I was ringing the bells, just for them to come give me stuff. And then the next day I was in the playroom playing with toys like nothing ever happened the day before.
Wow.
I had just a little bit of bruises on me and a little bit of line right there. But rather than that, I just felt like nothing ever happened. And, they had just all looked at me like, like, how's this happen? So the only thing they could come up with is that was God's child.
Now, when you were crossing, well, when you were kind of held from going down the tunnel and seeing that individual that was down there, do you remember having any kind of a conversation, or do you remember asking them anything?
No, it was almost just like I don't know, it's just like a stare down almost, and that was it. It was just like they were just trying to communicate with me, but I don't know why I couldn't talk. Maybe this. I don't know because when you try to look past them, it's just like the tunnel is so bright and it just keeps going on and it gets brighter and brighter as you look down.
Oh, so you could see down the tunnel and you could see
Yeah.
it get brighter, kind of
Yeah.
like it was lit up but lit out from
Yes.
there, and then it was just like, oh,
Yeah.
that's really
So it
interesting.
makes you, and it has always been on my mind ever since I've been little. My grandma never believed in me. She always thought it was just, oh, it's just one of those things, it's just because she was out. And no, I knew that it wasn't just that. I've been talking about it ever since it happened, since I was 4 years old. And,
Wow.
at that young of age, you don't just come up with something like that.
Right.
So I've always just wondered and wondered. I still to this day wonder, who was that person? Is that person the person that's going to be there for me when I do pass? Or is that an angel that was there and it just was, I know it wasn't my time because I lived.
Right.
But it stayed with me all of these years. And it's like, it had to stay with me for some reason.
Right. Have you ever felt in this experience, did you ever feel that that when you were in this moment that you because it's interesting, as I'm just sitting here, I'm wondering, as this was happening, do you ever remember looking and seeing your body at the hospital?
No, that
No,
is one thing I don't remember at all.
you don't remember that at all.
No,
And
I
I think,
do. You know what, though?
what?
I do remember me crying and kicking and screaming. I do remember that.
Like,
Like, because of everything. I do remember that. And I asked my mom about it. And my mom's like, but I don't think she remembered that. But they probably didn't have her in there with me.
oh, right.
And so probably maybe that's when maybe I was seeing myself, not really realizing it, because I do remember I felt like I was getting shots or something, and I was just screaming, bloody murder and stuff, like leave me alone, that kind of ordeal and stuff, not knowing what's going on. So I do remember that. But my mom said she doesn't remember any of that. And it's probably because they're not going to put your parents
Yeah, they're
in
not.
there.
Yeah, no, I think your mom had seen enough. I
Yeah,
think you're
because I remember being naked. I remember seeing myself naked. So it's almost like you're there, I guess. So I don't know if I had seen myself or if I felt it. You know
right.
what I mean? But it's almost like you can see yourself. And then yeah, that's so weird. Never even thought about that. Because I did talk to my mom about that, and I wish my mom was here with me because
I was just
you
gonna
know,
say that would have been fantastic.
I tried to get her here, but she had to make supper.
Oh, she had to make supper.
Yeah, but that would have been awesome if she would have been here because then she could have told her side of the story as
Oh
well.
my gosh, we're gonna have to do this again and talk to your
Yeah,
mom because that's
yeah,
like
well,
serious.
yeah,
That's we'll
because
do a part two when we
yeah,
talk
let's
to
do
you.
that.
Yeah, because I'd love to hear it from her point of view. I don't
Yeah,
think I've ever interviewed anybody where the mom, the mom was. I bet you. Oh,
and the thing is, I remember even her breath in me. Just that, and I'm like, and then I wake up, and
yeah.
I still remember that till this day.
Oh, so she, even though she didn't know CPR, she was like anything to blow. She was
Yes,
gonna do anything.
she did it one time in
One,
me,
one
one time,
time.
and I must have not been breathing, because she didn't get nothing off of me except for a pulse. So, and when I was laying on the table, that's when I felt that, you know, it's just like somebody just put breath in me, and I'm like, what the heck was that? And then that's when I woke up and I seen my mom and then completely out. And then get, starting back up again from the porch, and then that was it,
Do you
you know.
remember the look on your mom's face when you woke up?
Yeah, she was crying.
Oh my gosh.
Scared, she was scared out of her wits. I remember that, but you're not awake that long at all. Like it's
Right.
just a split, you know, not you're not knowing what's going on. You just
Right.
know, you know, that what happened, and then that's about it. So yeah, I
That's,
wish I would have got to see more. I really do. But you know
well,
what?
you
I
weren't
think
supposed to. I mean,
that's the thing. That's what I was gonna say. I think that that's my time. When it is my time, that is when I'm supposed to see.
how do you feel that this NDE experience has like helped you in life or given you
It's
what has it done?
done a lot. Because after I all this happened, I appreciated my life growing up. Things were not good in my house at all,
Mm-hmm.
not one bit, and I felt like I had to be the protector of my mom and my brothers.
Mm.
Um, and I know my dad will see this, so I don't want to say too much because he doesn't like to hear it be brought up, all that stuff, but it was bad. So I always felt like I needed to be the protector. And I have always felt like I was the person that had to, I don't know, like I just felt like everybody needed to come to me constantly. Even in elementary school, I helped out handicapped children. I was
Mm.
able to leave class and go help them, feed them. At lunchtime, I'd go to recess with them. I would read books to them. Became real good friends with them. I helped in all that kind of situation. Elderly people, I helped them all out. Even in elementary school with kids having problems at their house as well. And then they would call me up and I would give advice. And I'm like, how can I give advice as a child? But I feel like that I honestly do feel, and people might think I'm crazy, but I'm not. I do feel that God gave me a gift when I came back to help people. And this is what I'm here for.
Mm-hmm.
And it's still till this day, I can go to a store and my daughter and my husband's like, you don't know a stranger. And it's because everybody comes to me, you
Right.
know, and that's just how it is. And I just feel like my whole life, you have to learn from your experiences,
Right.
and you go through, everybody's tries something, and you just go through life and you're like, okay, I'm listening. I understand now. It's taken me a long time to get to where I am at now, but I feel like I'm more open to everything now than what I was before, you
Right.
know. So yeah, I do really feel good about myself knowing that all this was for reasons. And
Have you ever thought about becoming a therapist?
a lot of people has asked me that. A lot of people has asked me that. I didn't think with my learning disability, I always felt like I shouldn't go to college or anything because I didn't think I was smart enough for anything.
Oh, that makes me so sad.
Yeah, because I had a hard time through school. You know, I still had regular classes, but I still had tutors. You know,
Yeah.
I've had it ever since I was little. But learning disability is not from me getting, you know, hung and
Yeah.
stuff. That runs in our family, you know. So,
I
but you
still would
learn
encourage you to go do something like that.
therapy. Yeah. Because I
No, to
do it.
become a therapist, not
No,
to, I
yeah,
mean,
yeah,
yes,
right. Yeah, to become a therapist. Yeah, because everybody calls me for everything.
yeah,
And I'm not kidding. Like it's like that all the time. And sometimes you have to kind of separate yourself from that life. And you probably know how it is
yeah.
because you feel like you're going through what they're going through. And then you're like, oh, whoa. You know, my husband's like, maybe you need to stop helping people out because you're just bringing it home.
Yeah, we'll have to talk. We'll talk more about that. But
Yeah, we will.
I think that I know that people really judge and compare themselves. They really think like if I judge and compare myself against
Mhm,
somebody else's experience, then I should have gotten this or I should have been more of
mhm.
that. And I want to say like every experience is unique and exactly
Yeah,
what you needed,
yes.
exactly what you were was supposed to happen. And although that
Mhm.
does seem like, and I am sure that this life, and I have talked to many, many people who have had NDEs where they have come back in their life has been very difficult. Like,
Yes.
and the easy way out would have been to cross,
Mhm.
right? Compared to the things you had to go through here. But I always know, and I hope I'm not stepping out by saying this, but it feels as if you have a deep, deep, deep faith in everything that is.
I do.
Yeah.
I really do. And we'll have to do another session about all this stuff because
I know. We got to get your mom on here, man, and we'll
yeah.
have to do a part two.
Yeah. And then after that, my mom believes in everything that has happened and what I hear. And that's another thing. So that's why I'm saying there's another thing that we need to do because, yeah, I
Oh my
got,
gosh. When
yeah.
is your mom going to be able to come? Next Friday? 5:30, 5
If
o'clock?
if you want her to, I can even call her now and be like, get down here.
No. I let's
I'm
make it.
joking.
No. Let's make it for another um anyway, I'm gonna stop recording this so that
Okay, do it.
everybody just I want to thank you, Leann. Don't hang up. But I just
No, I
want to thank everybody for coming and joining us for this part one, Leann, because it looks like there's a part two coming your
yes.
way. So
Yeah.
that's adorable.